light in my eyes right now, so if it ain't as glary and bright as it usually is, I'm sorry, guys. All right. So let me talk to y'all real quick. A lot of people. First of all, I want to say this. You know what I'm saying? First of all, I want to say happy birthday, Puff. You know what I'm saying? Happy birthday to you. Um, Damn, man. Let me show y'all something. That's how far shit go back with me. Y'all give me a second to turn this on. I got my other device right here. Let me just turn this on real quick. And then I'm gonna get back to something. Just give me 1 second, guys. I'm trying to turn this on. I was charging my other device. There we go. While I wait for that to load up. We got a plethora of different women that are online right now that feel whatever type of way they feel. And I understand. I really do. I'm taking this from a totally position of being like, um, yeah, you know what? I get some of the stuff you're saying. I even get the reason you feel the way you feel. I mean, and some of you women get justified. You know what I mean? Hold on 1 second, guys. I'm gonna plug one of these lights up. But at the same time, right? I see a lot of women out here that are justifiably are saying things against Puff, and more importantly enough, his kids. Y'all give me a second, y'all. I'm just plugging something up. More so, his kids. And I've seen like lately, that's been a topic for a lot of people to try to cover and try to get involved in is people's kids. And I really have a problem with that. I'm gonna tell you why I have a problem with that. I watched just one woman. I ain't even gonna say her name because for me it ain't even worth saying her name. The woman is obviously got some issues, some deep-seated issues. And those deep-seated issues that she has are gonna be taken up to a court sooner or later. Please believe that. You know what I'm saying? So I want her to continue doing her lives. I want her to continue doing her uploads. I want everybody to support this woman. I want y'all to continue doing that. You know what I'm saying? I love, especially when y'all mention her. You understand what I'm saying? Amongst the other nutty, mentally ill women, presumptuously, that are online nowadays and got their table in a business that they've never been around and never will be around. They have all their different opinions, all their different stakes as far as very same lady that I'm talking about right now. She was on her podcast defending Courtney Burgess. And then when they saw that things were going left with Courtney Burgess, when she was first initially embracing him, if you want to say, because she, anything that's a down for Puff is a win for her, evidently mentally. That's why I told you this is somebody that has some mental issues. Because anybody that, first of all, being obsessed is a problem. You understand? I talked about this the other day. I'm gonna tell you about it again. First, we're gonna get into this. I want y'all to have a clear understanding of what the word obsess means and why you're obsessed. This woman is obsessed because it brings her views. You understand what I'm saying? Which is totally different. It's working within a paradigm of what the YouTube business model is, and that is sacrifice anyone for the greater of some views. You don't believe me, but a lot of you are under a spell. This particular woman that I'm talking about is definitely under a spell. And if I had to say anything, I would ask, who sent you? That's my question. Who are you working for? Because a lot of these women seem like, and this is what I mean, and this is not a take on going in on women. A lot of these women that are day to day, let's call them the Puff observers, you know what I'm saying, are really obsessed with a man that they don't know and have never been around. And it's just weird to me how they act like these sleuths, and if you wonder what I'm doing, I'm looking at this tablet. They act like these sleuths and they act like these detectives and everything. And it's just weird to me, dog. I don't know. It's like one thing if you want to hear you're talking about particular subjects. Okay, Cassie got beat. We saw that. You know what I'm saying? One of your aunties got beat down before. You don't talk about her. You understand what I'm saying? Aunt Wilma been getting her ass whooped for talking about Cassie. They're not concerned about Cassie. They're concerned about the story surrounding Cassie and how many views it brings them. Now I want to read to y'all what the word obsess means. Okay, now here it is right here, so I'm not just picking it. You know what I mean? Okay. Preoccupied to fill the mind of someone continuously intrusively, and to a troubling extent. He was obsessed with the theme of death. I'm going to say it one more time for y'all. To preoccupy or fill the mind of someone continually, intrusively, and to a troubling extent. One more time. This is from Oxford's Dictionary. Past tense, obsess. Past principle, obsessed. To preoccupy or fill the mind of someone continuously, intrusively, and to a troubling extent. He was obsessed with the theme of death. Of a person to be preoccupied or constantly worried about something, her husband is obsessed about what she has done to him. I can get into more of them. The root of the word is Latin, so I know it very well. And it's funny to me that you got these women, and I'll even read about Merriam Webster's because I know a lot of y'all gonna be like, well, you didn't read it from Merriam Webster. Okay. Here's Merriam Webster. There's theirs too. Okay. You see? You see who it is, right? Okay, cool. So we know there's Merriam Webster right there at the top. So right there at the top. Okay, cool. All right. Obsess, obsessing, or obsesses. Transitive verb. To haunt or excessively preoccupy the mind of said person. To engage in obsessive thinking, become obsessed with an idea. Obsessed. Now, I'm going to read y'all something else that's actually I read the other day, and this is a clinical people, a clinical psychiatrist. They did studies about this. Now, I want to read this to you because I'm going to go into my diatribe in a second, but you have to understand this stuff because this is what's going on here online. Now, this is what I pointed to you guys the other day, and I'm going to point it to you again. This is called celebrity worship syndrome. Celebrity worship syndrome. I want to read this to you. Celebrity worship syndrome, CWS, or celebrity obsession disorder, is an excessive active disorder, an excessive addictive disorder in which a person becomes overly involved with the details of a celebrity's personal and professional life. Psychiatrists have indicated that though many people obsess over film, television, sports, and pop stars, the only common factor between them is that they are all figures in the public eye. Written observations of celebrity worship go back to the 19th century. So this has been here for a long time, okay? And I'll read it for you one more time if you need to hear it again. Celebrity worship syndrome, acronym CWS, or COD, which is celebrity obsession disorder. It is an obsessive addictive disorder in which a person becomes overly involved with the details of celebrities' personal and professional life. Psychiatrists have indicated that though many people obsess over film, television, sport, pop stars, the only common factor between them is that they are all figures in the public eye. Written observations of celebrity worship date back to the 19th century. All right, this ain't new. You understand what I'm saying here? This is the mental health. Evidence indicates that poor mental health is correlated with celebrity worship. I'm going to say that for you again. Evidence indicates that poor mental health is correlated with celebrity worship. Researchers have examined the relationship between celebrity worship and mental health in the United Kingdom adult samples. One study found that evidence of suggested intense personal celebrity worship dimension was related to higher levels of depression and anxiety. Similarly, other studies in 2004 found that the intense personal celebrity worship dimension was not only related to higher levels of depression and anxiety, but also higher levels of stress, negative effect, and reports of illness. Both these studies showed no evidence of significant relationship between either the entertainment, social, or borderline pathological dimensions of celebrity worship and mental health. Other correlated pathology examined the role of celebrity interest in shaping body image connotations among three separate UK samples: adolescents, students, and older adults. Individuals selected as a celebrity of their own sex whose body figure they liked and admired, and then completed the celebrity attitude scale along with two measures of body image. Significant relationships were found between attitudes towards celebrities and body image among female adolescents only. The findings suggested that in female adolescents, there is an interaction between intense personal celebrity worship and body image between the ages of 14 and 16. And some tentative evidence suggests that the relationship disappears on the onset of adulthood, which is between the ages of 17 and 20. These results are consistent with the authors who stress the importance of formation of relationships with media figures, and suggests the relationships with celebrities perceived as having a good body shape may lead to a poor body image of the female adolescents. This can again be supported by the study carried out, which investigated the link between mass media and its direct correlation with poor self worth, body image in a sample group of females between the ages of 17 and 20. But hold up, there's more. Within the clinical content of an effective celebrity might be more extreme, particularly to consider extreme aspects of celebrity worship. Relationship between three classifications of celebrity worship: entertainment, social, intense, personal, borderline pathological celebrity worship, and obsessiveness. There's that word. Two of these variables drew particular attention: fantasy, proneness, and disassociation. This is what I wanted to get to. Fantasy prowess involves fantasizing for a duration of time, reporting hallucinatory intensifies as real, reporting vivid childhood memories, having intense religious and paranormal experiences. That's a lot of this esoterical talk you be talking. Oh, the skies and the birds, they're all talking, the ancestors are talking, all that crazy shit. That's where that comes from. Though low levels of celebrity worship, entertainment, social, are not associated with any clinical measures, medium levels of celebrity worship, intense, personal, and related to fantasy prowess, is approximately 10% shared variance, meaning there was a low percentage, meaning most of these people pretty much think the same way. That's why it's easy to pan out. This is different than other mental illnesses, because this is a mental illness. It's called celebrity worship syndrome. This mental illness is different from other mental illnesses where a lot of people, they can hide their mental illnesses with other, I guess what they're assuming is other diagnoses and stuff like that. But with this particular one, it's so overt and it's so in your face that you can see it and diagnose it very quickly. And it's a pattern of behaviors. You understand what I'm saying? A pattern of behaviors in this fact that gets a lot of people paid here, and their subscribers following the same path, which I've found. A lot of times, the way that the podcaster talks is the same way that the subscribers talk, or they will learn or acquiesce themselves into talking just like the podcast. Have y'all not noticed that? You understand what I'm saying? This is where you get these little cute cliniums of, oh, I'll just throw some for example. I'm YouTuber such and such, and these are the such and such followers. And now the such and such followers start talking like the lead such and such. You get what I'm saying? So it's like it's alert behavior. It's almost like a cult. The cult leader's there. The cult leader says to all his followers, this is what y'all going to do. This is how y'all going to do it. This is what we're going to hate. And this is why we're going to hate them. And not have anything explanatory to give to said audience outside the fact of rumor, speculation, presumptions, and lies in many of cases. And in fact, in some cases, just like this young woman I'm talking about, defend the person which she says 2 days later is lying. You were on the side of a person that you said was lying the other day, young lady. I'm going to get into Diddy's birthday in a second, but there's a reason I want to finish reading this out. Celebrity worship syndrome can lead to a manifestation of unhealthy tendencies, such as materialism, compulsive buying, which can be supported by a study carried out by Robert A. Reeves, Gary A. Baker, and Chris L. Trillock. The result of the study linked high rates of celebrity worship with high rates of materialism and compulsive buying. The number of historical, ethnographic, netnographic, and autoethnographic studies in diverse academic disciplines such as film studies, media studies, cultural studies. Media studies would be me. That's what I went to school for, digital media communications. The consumer research, which unlike McCluction, I think that's his name, focused mainly on a student sample with two expectations that actually studied fans in the field, have come to a very different conclusion and are more in line with Holton Wall's original concept of parasocial interaction. Now, I want to give y'all the definition of this. Parasocial interaction refers to a kind of psychological relationship experienced by an audience. Pay attention to what I'm telling y'all. Parasocial interaction refers to a kind of psychological relationship experienced by an audience in their mediated encounters with performers in mass media, particularly on TV and online platforms. Let me read that for you again. Parasocial Parasocial interaction refers to a kind of psychological relationship experienced by audience and their mediated encounters with performers in mass media, particularly on television and online platforms. Viewers or listeners come to consider media personalities as friends, despite having no or limited interaction with them. PSI is described as an illusionary experience, such as that of media audience interacting with personas, talk show hosts, celebrities, fictional characters, social media influencers, as if they engage in a reciprocal relationship with them. The term is coined by Donald Horton and Richard Roll in 1956. This is old game. This ain't new game. I'm trying to learn y'all something. As you see, some people they load up. They're like, "What is he talking about?" Because they are the very people I'm talking about. Only those outside the matrix hearing me. You understand what I'm saying? I'm breaking down the matrix for y'all niggas, and y'all ain't getting it. You're under a spell, and I'm trying to break you up out of it, and you ain't listening. I'm gonna read this for you one more time, okay? Now we were talking about originally celebrity obsession disorder. Okay, this is a clinical psychological term that was studied about people that are social media influencers, people that are personalities or whatever talk show hosts. And what they do is they get so obsessed with the stars that they start making up lies, they start throwing together conclusions that are not there, obviously, et cetera, if you follow what I'm saying without being too long-winded. That led to another, and I'm gonna lead y'all to another one too, because there's a reason I'm breaking all this down before I start, because what I want y'all to do is understand what you up against, nigga. See, it ain't just the YouTubers that's doing this. It's fucking people in mass media that's doing this shit too. And the examples go all the way back to the 19th century, early 19th century, of the star obsession and how it's always cultivated in this culture here in America. And now it's at its antithesis, if you want to say, now that we're using online to segue the same messages, segue the same ideas that we once had in the back of a liquor store or something like that or whatever, you know? So it led me to this parasocial interaction refers to a kind of psychological relationship experienced by the audience in mediated encounters with performers in mass media, particularly on television and online platforms. Viewers or listeners come to consider media personalities as friends despite having no or limited interaction with them. PSI is described as an illusionary experience, such as a media audiences interact with personas, talk show hosts, celebrities, fictional characters, social media influencers, as if engaged in a reciprocal relationship with them, meaning that they both share this space or whatever. Um, with them, the term was coined by Donald Horton and Richard Ball in 1956. 1956, this is before the internet was even popping. A parasocial interaction is exposure of gamer's interest in a persona becomes a parasocial relationship after repeated exposure to the media persona causes the media user, okay, listen again, a parasocial interaction, an exposure that garners interest in a persona becomes a parasocial relationship. After repeated exposure to the media, persona causes the media user to develop illusions of intimacy, friendship, and identification. Positive information learned about media personality results in increased attraction. Let me read that for you one more time. Positive information learned about the media persona results in increased attraction and relationship progression in their mind. Parasocial relationships are enhanced due to the trust and self disclosure provided by the media persona. Media users are loyal and feel directly connected to the persona, much as they are connected to close friends by observing and interpreting their appearance, gesture, voice, conversation, and conduct. Media personas have a significant amount of influence over media users. Let me say that for you one more time. Media personas have a significant amount of influence over media users, positive or negative, informing the way that they perceive certain topics and even their purchasing habits. Studies involving longitudinal, I think that's how you say it, longitudinal, I've never said that word in my life, longitudinal effects of parasocial interactions on children are still relatively new. So they don't know how this affects children yet. Social media, meaning the personalities that are online or whatever, the people that watch them, as I've been telling y'all now for weeks, and I had to get the clinical terms because evidently that's how y'all flow. Y'all can't just take somebody's word for it. So I'm gonna read it for y'all so y'all understand what y'all up against. Y'all are under a spell. And I'm here trying to break y'all chain, but y'all just want to stay on the plantation. Please, master YouTube. I'm talking about black, white, polka dot. It don't even matter. I don't care where you're from. Hempty, Hindu, whatever. If you that obsessed with your social media nowadays, you are a problem bigger than what you all think you are. And I'm going to keep reading this to you. Media users are loyal and feel directly connected to the persona, much as they are connected to close friends by observing and interpreting their appearance, gestures, voice, conversation, and conduct. Media personas have a significant amount of influence over media users, positive or negative, informing them in a way to perceive certain topics or even purchasing habits. Studies involving longitudinal, longitudinal, I guess that's how you're saying it, longitudinal effects of parasocial interaction on children are still relatively new. According to a developmental psychiatrist, Sandra L. Calvert, I think that's how you pronounce his last name, social media introduces additional opportunities of parasocial relationships to intensify because it provides more opportunities for intimate, reciprocal, and frequent interactions between the user and the persona. Let me say it for you one more time. Social media introduces additional opportunities for parasocial relationships to intensify because it provides more opportunities for intimate, reciprocal, and frequent interactions between the user and persona. These virtual interactions may involve commenting, following, liking, direct messaging. The consistency in which a persona appears could also lead to a little bit more intimate perceptions in the eyes of the user. Let me run that for you one more time so y'all understand. Social media introduces additional opportunities for parasocial activities and relationships to intensify because it provides more opportunities for intimate, reciprocal, and frequent interactions between the user and the persona. The virtual interactions may involve commenting, following, liking, direct messaging, and the consistency of which persona appears could also lead to more intimate perception of the eyes of the user. This is all parasocial interaction. Okay, so y'all can look that up for yourself. Parasocial interaction. I'm grabbing it from here. I've been really on this because I needed the what's the names on this or whatever, so I could do this the right way. So that's why I was prepared for this. I want to read one more to you. Studying social interaction, the extension of parasocial interaction follows a social cognitive approach by defining individual cognitive activity. Accordingly, there are similar psychological processes at work in both parasocial relationships and face to face interactions. This is the difference. However, the parasocial relationship does not follow the process of typical long term relationship. The media user remains a stranger to the media figure, whereas the strangeness would gradually evaporate in a typical social interaction. Listen again. The media user remains a stranger to the media figure, whereas this strangeness would gradually evaporate in a typical social interaction, meaning offline, where if that person was in real life, and this is why I keep telling you all the time, this is why I judge people online the same way I would judge them in person. If you come on my social media and you're saying doofy comments or you're poking fun at Puff or something like that, and it's unwarranted in the conversation, or you just come out of the blue and say something like that, I automatically remove those people because these are people in real life I would not ever speak to. You understand what I'm saying? I wouldn't have you around me. Many of these YouTube personalities, these are nobodies offline. Like once they click that off button and the podcast is done, they go back to being the regular Joes that they are. Yeah, some of them get a little check every now and then or whatever, but most of them, they've never been anything in life worth mentioning. You understand what I'm saying? Some of these people, their work history is inclusive of McDonald's and Starbucks. Now let me continue with this. Studying social interaction by the extensions of parasocial interaction follows a social cognitive approach to defining individual cognitive activity. Accordingly, there are similar psychological processes at work in both parasocial relationships and face-to-face interactions. This is what we're talking about. So remember the difference: parasocial relationships and face-to-face interactions. This is where I want to hone in on y'all at, all right? Listen to me. Black and Latin people and white people too, but black and Latin people first, all right? In this, for fucking obvious reasons, not racist thing. I love y'all to death. I really do. I really do. I have a history of this. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I really love my black and Latin people. But in this particular bout of the internet, y'all are some of the most damaged and biggest casualties as of yet. And many people from other cultures recognize it and realize it. I talked about how other countries like China and who else was it? Egypt and a lot of these other countries, they literally shut off their internets for a year, 6 months, 8 months, when none of the people in the countries are able to use the internet. And if they are able to use the internet, they're able to use it at a limited fraction. They particularly put their concentration on, and you'll find with many of countries, some countries have banned Facebook. Some countries have banned interaction with Instagram. Some countries have banned interaction even with YouTube. That's why when you put it, sometimes when you go to YouTube and it's a different country, you'll find that you have limitations on uploading. You have limitations on what you can say and so on and so forth. You don't know this because you don't live in these countries, but I'm trying to tell you, switch your country to China and see how quickly you are limited to what you can upload and can't upload. Switch your location to Egypt and see how quickly you'll see what you can and can't upload versus the American version of YouTube, and you will, like that, quickly understand the world is bigger than your bedroom. Now let me keep on continuing here. See, the duty of a civilized man, as once Lord Jamal and his crew one time said. You understand what I'm saying? The duty of a civilized man is to what? To civilize the uncivilized. I went to Allah School of Mecca and said that right inside there. It was one of the most fulfilling moments of my life. That video's right here on this page. Well, Brand Newbie and Lord Jamal / Lord Jamal film Wake Up Black Men Move On. Huh? You don't remember that? You don't remember that? I remember that. They're right there across the street from the Adam Clayton Powell building, don't you know? Studying social interactions by interactions, parasocial interaction follows a social cognitive approach by defining individual cognitive activity. Accordingly, there are similar psychological processes at work in both parasocial relationships and face-to-face interactions. However, parasocial relationships do not follow the process of typical long-term relationship. The media user remains a stranger to the media figure. The media user remains a stranger to the media figure. The media user remains a stranger to the media figure, whereas the strangers will gradually evaporate in a typical one-on-one interaction in person. Many parasocial relationships fulfill the need of typical social interaction, but potentially reward insecurity. Many who possess a dismissive attachment style to others may find a one-sided interaction to be a preferable low and dealing with others, while theirs experiences anxiety and typical interactions may find comfort in the lives of celebrities consistently being present. Additionally, wherever a celebrity or online figure may do to provoke emotional responses from their audience. Listen again. Additionally, whatever celebrity or online figure may do can provoke emotional responses from their audience. I'm gonna say it for you one more time. Additionally, for all them people, for the 5, 10 people that's loading off or whatever, y'all go back over there, getting your capsules, and tell Neo and Morpheus we said what's up. All right. That's what I want y'all to do. I want you to go back, since this is born, go sit in your capsules or whatever. This is for the intelligent people. I'm tired of serving the low tier mind, the low feng shui mind. You understand what I'm saying? So we got to move on, because when you adapt yourself to sitting around and just pleasing that type of crowd or whatever, you got to realize those are all the niggas that Neo was trying to free in the Matrix. And some of them just wanted to stay. They said, no, Neo, what's better than this dream? What's better than this dream, Neo? So let them stay over there in the capsules. The intelligent people are here. Because what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get y'all out y'all capsules. Y'all are being tricked. And I know this because I worked in the media for 17 years. I peaked it 2 years ago. I said, they tricking these people. They don't know. They don't know. And I got to say this to YouTube and many of these other social media outlets, you should be fucking ashamed of yourself, because the pure simple fact, you're fooling these people and you're bringing them into a psychosis that they're unbeknownst to. And it's a mental illness, it's obsessiveness. That's why I started out my definition first with obsessiveness, because you got to understand that obsessiveness leads to all this other stuff. Parasocial interaction, meaning that you're online and you think that a fucking YouTuber is your friend. That's a parasocial interaction. That's not your friend. You're back of your mind because of the neediness. And a lot of this comes from the pandemic, in my personal opinion. Like I said, a lot of people, they didn't come out right from that pandemic. I don't care what nobody says. Mentally, a lot of people, and if you were a YouTuber like I was and many others were during that pandemic, you know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. A lot of these people leached onto us. They didn't have anybody else. And we were going through our own things. You understand what I'm saying? But it was a parasocial interaction that was forced. Why was it forced? Because there was a quarantine going on. You understand what I'm saying? What I'm saying is, even if it may not be beknownst to the American government, even though it may not be beknownst to psychiatrists that have done studies on this or whatever, I, Davin Lewis, am here to tell you that I think the increasement of parasocial interaction during the pandemic has led us to where we're at right now, where you have literally fucking subscribers thinking they are friends with YouTubers. You understand what I'm saying? Now, I've had one woman that I've been friends with here on YouTube. I throw it at an 80-20 because I got a speculative thing in my mind about something that interacted. I don't think she might have did it on purpose. She might have did it in good intentions. But what I think is, I think she led me to somewhere that they try to put me out the pasture. You understand what I'm saying? But it was a parasocial interaction. It was a interaction that was facilitated online, not offline. This is the differences. And I'm going to watch it in a couple of days. You're going to have a couple of niggas who'll be like, oh, I found, no, you nigga, you got this from me. Just like I break a whole bunch of other things down here. I'm trying to wake y'all the fuck up. Y'all might not like the way I talk or whatever, but me personally, I want to see a time when we used to go back when I could walk down the store, and I walk down to the store or something, and I see a dude that look just like me, and I can say hello to him and not be worried about if he's going to do something to me. And the opposite of the thinking is, oh, you see all the white folks over there? You better be careful. No, you see all them niggas over there? You better be careful. You understand what I'm saying? This is the ideals that I'm trying to get up out of you. Y'all been ingested with a whole bunch of ideas, and a lot of it's been facilitated by these fucking personalities that are online that are deeper in the matrix and deeper in their narcissism and deeper in their fucking own mental illness above anybody. And what can a mental ill motherfucker do? Do nothing but lead other mentally ill, obsessed, parasocial, interacting motherfuckers. Don't y'all get it? What the fuck is wrong with y'all? And then when I talk like, you're like, oh, you talk all rough. Think of me as that big cousin, that big brother that just spit shit to you the way it is. I ain't got time to be sitting up here brown nose because y'all don't have time. We don't have time to be sitting up here coddling people, having grief festivals or whatever. When you're the facilitators of your own fucking demise, you dumb motherfuckers. Let me continue reading this shit. Studying social interaction by the extension of parasocial interaction, PSI for an acronym for those laymen, follows a social cognitive approach to define an individual cognitive activity. Accordingly, there are similar psychological processes at work in both parasocial relationships and face-to-face interactions. This is why you think this is real, because of the similarities. Your mind is tricking you. You understand what I'm saying? But it's not your fault. It's not your fault. The way these social media apps are set up, they want you to believe that. They want you to believe this is your friend. This is somebody you can compare on. And then with that, and as you keep having that approach to social media, you keep having that approach to these personalities online, I mean, including as we're getting closer to these people, you start to realize this is not my friend. This is just a motherfucker I see online. Don't you understand the difference? This is somebody you see online. That's all it is. You know what I'm saying? That's all it is. That's all it is. This is a motherfucker you see online. You and the rest of these motherfuckers, y'all gather in this one particular motherfucker space. And what y'all do is y'all sit there day after day after day after day, constantly obsessing and giving your opinion over motherfuckers you don't know. That is the epitome of mental illness. There's no other way to describe it. I can read you 15 different other definitions. They're going to tell you the same thing, from the DCM to where else you want to go. I can go to a million different. You motherfuckers are under a spell. I'll continue here. Many parasocial relationships fulfill the need of a typical social interaction, but potentially reward insecurity. Let me say that for you one more again. Many parasocial relationships fulfill the needs of typical social interaction, but potentially reward insecurity. Meaning that a lot of these people embrace these personalities here online and they worship them and they take whatever they say as praise value because of the pure simple fact of one thing. They think it's a real relationship. No, it's a parasocial relationship. It exists via digitally. This is not somebody that's in front of you. This is not your friend. This is somebody that has an opinion. They come in, they say what they got to say, and they're out. It's not your friend. But because of the freaking pandemic, if you want to say, because of that, it changed the dynamic. And I think that's the missing factor right here. I listen, I'm good at stuff like this. So believe it or not, the way I talk or whatever, I'm actually highly intelligent. You understand? Hence the nickname professional. Anybody that knows me, they're gonna tell you that. I surprise people all the time. They'll be like, how the fuck did you know that? Because I'm smart. You understand what I'm saying? Which makes me a little bit more deadly than others. Because I'm smart. But the point I'm getting at here is this, and I'm not trying to toot my own horn. What I mean by that is I'm able enough, and I've been doing this for years. My history will show this. When I see things, I get frustrated when people don't get what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, y'all under a spell. Black, white, polka dot, whatever. Y'all are under a psychosis right now. And I don't think y'all understand it. And the psychosis comes from, in my personal opinion, many people being alone for the very first time in their life or not having an audience to show off for the very first time in their life. That's why you saw such an increase in freaking YouTubers during the pandemic, in my personal opinion. You had people that no longer had audiences in regular peer-to-peer interaction and the day-to-day factor. So now they say, well, I need an audience again. So what do? They go online and create an audience. You want to bet? Who here living in New York City tri-state? And remember, before the pandemic, we had a traditional, I'm going to read some more of this in a minute. We had a traditional thing going on where we would have performers all throughout the city. Like, no matter where you went into a subway or something like that, it was an actual breathing point of the city. And I wish that the New York City Police Department would encourage this more than no offense to anybody, than Auntie TT down in the subway selling biscuits and fucking candy. You understand what I'm saying? I'm gonna be real with you. You know what I mean? Like I'd much rather see that again. Well, before the pandemic, we had a whole bunch of artists that used to be singers, musicians of all different chords. Hosier, they broke down one day in the 42nd Street tunnel. You know, the tunnel to switch over and take you from, you go over there and catch the Grand Central joint, or you go on the other side, catch the A and Port Authority right there. Y'all know what I'm talking about. In between that little breezeway right there, Hosier performed a concert right there. It was like, it was a different vibe. And so once the pandemic came out, you didn't see that no more. You very rarely see an artist performing in the subway. Now, there was a guy that was an Asian guy. He was trying to perform, and God bless his heart, he was trying to perform on 42nd Street, and some woman came from behind him and hit him in the head with some type of metal bottle. I think it was a thermos or something like that. It was caught on camera. God bless that guy's heart. And he kept singing. You know what I'm saying? He a bigger man than me, because right then, you hit me with something on 42nd Street. We talk about it later. Whatever your reason was, we'll talk about it when we get down to the station. All right. Whatever you were thinking in your mind, we'll talk about when we get down to the station. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what it's gonna be. Because somebody getting hurt. I don't listen. You have to be very careful when you are in New York. This is why I tell people, if you're not from New York, don't come here. That niggas gonna get you. Because first thing motherfuckers know how to do is sniff out somebody that ain't from New York City tri-state. You could be from Jersey, Connecticut. Furthest part without you sticking out a difference will probably be Philly. Because Philly niggas are just almost damn near like New York motherfuckers, the Jersey motherfuckers. They'll probably think they from Jersey, if anything, unless they hear him say a couple little slang words like, yo, man, you see that John? You know what I'm saying? Something like that. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? All right. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. That'll stick out, but you could contain that with a nigga down in Jersey. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So like from Pennsylvania all the way up to Boston, maybe a little bit further than that. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna group you together as being like the same, pretty much. But I don't know. Let me keep on continuing to read this because I think you guys want to hear this. Many parasocial relationships, once again, a parasocial relationship, y'all need a definition of it. It's basically a relationship that has its foundations on the internet or not in personal interaction with said person. Okay, so this so y'all know. Many parasocial relationships fulfill the needs of typical social interaction. They fulfill the needs of typical social interaction. Get the difference? Parasocial, that means online or using some other vehicle or whatever communication, versus typical social interaction where I could touch you, I can give you a handshake, I can give you a pound, I can say what's up. This is the difference. You motherfuckers don't understand the difference anymore, and y'all have now made reality and the digital world synonymous. They ain't synonymous. You get it? Huh? Okay, that's one cord unplugged. We getting them out the matrix. For the one real ones that's here, y'all understand what I'm talking about? I'm trying to pull them out. I'm doing my part. I'm doing my part. We're trying to pull these cords out these motherfuckers because they don't get it. And this is now leading to you guys having a tribalistic mind. And if you're able to get a group of people to have a tribalistic mind, you got the ultimate fucking batch of sheeps. Whoever constructed this idea, because trust me, there's only about 10 of them that did this, that know what's going on. Now, other than what I know going on, and a few others know what's going on. There's only a few people that pick up on this, and this is usually the orchestrators. So what I'm trying to tell you is, you ever seen the movie, what was it, Aliens? I think it was Aliens. You ever saw that last one where they had the architects in there, and the architects the whole time they destroyed themselves or whatever? That's what's going to happen in this case. The architects are going to end up destroying themselves. It's going to be the people awakening, like in the Matrix, to make it happen. What I'm saying to you is, where you think you're free while having these little voices and having these little opinions and all this shit about most of y'all, about I say 98% of y'all, about worlds you've never been in the middle of. Well, the whole time it was orchestrated for you to do that. It was even predicted that's how you was going to do. Do you not think that there was a social, psychological, data gathering, demographic gathering period before they really launched these websites? Do y'all really think that? I'll give you a perfect example. Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg, he had an Indian gentleman that helped him co-create. I believe that gentleman was Indian, helped him co-create Facebook. He never gets a lot of credit as much as Mark Zuckerberg. Mark Zuckerberg always gets the most credit, but it was Mark Zuckerberg along with a few other people. And so he said, and he's online for saying this, so you could find it. He says, this co-author of Facebook, he says, we knew what the ramifications would do to these children, or the possibility at the very least, and we went along with it. You'll hear the creators of Twitter who said basically the same thing. You understand what I'm saying? Which is another reason I think they putting so much emphasis on Puff. Puff helped with that purchase. Nobody even speaks about that. Like, fuck how you feel about Elon Musk. The fact is, he participated in that. There was a couple other rappers that participated in the purchase of Twitter too, which I'm not going to name. You understand what I'm saying? Boss. But regardless, the fact is, only certain niggas know certain shit. That's the difference. You know what I mean? Listen, these parasocial relationships need to become a thing, a topic. I need some of you YouTubers, especially you ones in the know. You know, there's certain people that do their part. Like 9 Day, they do their part. They got their little thing they got to do to keep the audiences back, but they got a whole separate channel. Go check out their other channel. It's in their description box. Go check out their other channel. Y'all start understanding this. What I've learned is I can't yell at y'all and expect y'all to do what I'm talking about, whatever. And I'm not going to coddle y'all either. But what I can do is I can tell you what you need to be looking for. And maybe you'll look at this thing a different way. You'll go over to this blogger and you'll say, oh, well, I like what they're saying, but you don't do it with open ears. Like, you'll listen to what they're saying with open ears, but you won't think nothing about the podcasters is delivering what they're saying to you with open ears because of your parasocial relationship. Your parasocial relationship dictates the same thing you would with a real friend in a one-on-one interactive relationship. That's why I say to y'all a lot of times, a lot of these people that got thousands or hundreds of thousands of followers, these motherfuckers ain't got no friends in real life, dog. You understand what I'm saying? Listen, let me tell you what I mean. I know at 4 o'clock in the morning, whether it's Connecticut, whether it's New York, whether it's Jersey, whether it's Miami, whether it's California, whatever. I have people in real life I could call and be like, "Lo, listen, I'm coming through. I need to stay at your crib." That's a one-on-one peer interaction in social reality. Now, this is the difference. A parasocial interaction doesn't dictate that. Would you call up your favorite vlogger in any one of them cities at 3 o'clock in the morning and say, hey, I need to stay at your house, and think that they're going to let you stay at their house? Are you getting the difference? Okay, good. Good, good, good. We're getting progress here. I'm gonna get y'all out this motherfucking matrix. Y'all ain't gotta donate to me, support me, whatever the fuck else. But it's my duty to make sure I at least tried to get y'all. Now, maybe y'all will get this 4 years from now, 5 years from now. For the people that'll see this 10 years from now, you're gonna be like, damn, he really was trying to help us. And we just didn't get it. And the more he was trying to help, the more we denounced him. And now I understand why he was angry. You understand what I'm saying? At that point, I'm not angry because I give a fuck about your donations. I'm angry because you stupid motherfuckers won't listen. The point of being somebody intelligent is listen from all aspects, not just one. When you listen to one aspect of a conversation and not many others, that makes you at that time, my friend, what we call acquiescent. All right? You're able to acquiesce to any situation that best fits you based on the fact of how you internally feel versus what's greater for the good. This is why a lot of y'all can't understand what's greater for the good as a culture versus what's greater for the good as you as an individual, because survival instincts kick in. You are not in survival mode anymore, boys and girls, black, white, polka dot alike, either, both genders. Jesus Christ. Many parasocial relationships, this is what we're talking about. We're talking about parasocial relationships if you just tuned in. Parasocial relationships are definitive, lightly, but used because they're selfish. Selfish, and well, when you say selfish, you mean narcissist, in my opinion. Intelligent mindsmith. So when I say narcissism, I mean that someone that does everything that they do on a daily basis, basically to fulfill whatever their whims and needs are. When I gave this definition of parasocial interaction, one of the funny things that goes into what you're saying is that the pure simple fact that a lot of these people take these relationships online as being real relationships. And so they're able to dictate and even say the things that they say. Yeah, they're too concerned with their own self versus a whole culture movement. See, I grew up around Italians and Greeks mostly, you know what I'm saying? And this, I grew up around a lot of people, especially in my adult life, my late teen to adult life. I grew up around a lot of people that were just like some great people. You know what I mean? Like I had a one friend named Chris Papadonasio, right? If I go to Chris's restaurant, he's Greek. If I went to Chris's restaurant back in the day and I said, hey, I don't have, and that goes to his cousin Billy and Big Costa. If I went to there and Billy Costa or Chris was there, or even Crisula, if any of them were there and I said, hey, I'm hungry, I'm gonna get 3 slices of pizza, if not a whole damn pie. You understand what I'm saying? I knew their father there. You know what I'm saying? If you saw their father, you would swear to God he was like a Greek mafia boss or something. You know what I mean? A lot of people thought that. He's a very well dressed man, very articulated man, RP to Charlie. But these are the people I grew up around and I was influenced by or whatever. And I watched how they moved as cultures. I watched how they moved as a unit. And what I'm trying to propose is if many of y'all will start moving together as a unit, like y'all move on these individual topics, like, oh my God, we got to all take down Diddy. Well, let's stay on it for the next 3 months. Well, y'all didn't even have this enthusiasm with the Harvey Weinstein and Joel Epstein. And it was funny because the other night I heard Dame talk about Pay the Fool. And he talked about the hard time, talking about Dame Dash. He was talking about the hard time he had with the Weinstein brothers in distribution and the ownership rights they wanted over their projects or whatever. And it just wasn't with Dame, depending on what type of star you were at the time. They didn't particularly do that. They gave Quentin Tarantino a lot of leniency. All the Quentin Tarantino's movies, I think, except for one, are all done by the Weinstein Company. Same thing with a lot of other major pictures. They're tagged to their production company, even though the company, I think, as the Weinstein brothers Appleman is concerned, I think it's been disbanded. I don't even think it exists anymore. You understand me? So what you're seeing here is you're seeing this parasocial interactions that happen here online start to affect real life relationships. That's why people have switched the dynamic where you used to be in person. A lot of people, y'all remember this is watching me right now. Remember when we used to come outside, even if we had beepers, you know what I'm saying? I remember the transition from beepers. I had a SkyTel pager. That shit cost like $300 fucking dollars at the time. All right. It was the same shit that like high-end doctors had. You know what I'm saying? It did shit. I could send messages on the motherfucker, like literally type them out. It had a keyboard, everything. But this is the pager. And so I remember even at that time when we had the pagers, we were slowly moving into that digital space because it was a digital interaction. Somebody beat me, I call them back, or they leave me a message. I could send them a message back, and we usually learn how to do the characters upside down. Who remember that when you learn how to do the characters upside down with the numbers and spell out words and shit? Yo, we had to be some geniuses for that shit because you had to remember that shit. Like if you had the old SkyTel beepers and shit like that, you literally learn how to type out messages using the numbers. You understand what I'm saying? Like using the numbers. Like I know how to spell hell no. I still know how to do a lot of that shit. My point is it was still a remaining factor of social interaction one-on-one, meaning people were still outside talking to each other. People were still, you know what I mean, equipped with being cool with each other, everything else, right? And once cell phones came into play, it wasn't the end. A lot of people took the time getting the cell phones. It was about the 9th or 10th year the cell phones were out. That's when people started getting a little whoop-dee. You know what I mean? And then it became a thing where certain people started, like I remember Kat Stacks. She was amongst the first. Who remember Kat Stacks? En la mujer de la cubana, no? She's Cuban, white Cuban, but Cuban. And I remember when she did what she did, right? And she was trying to set up Soldier Boy and a whole bunch of stuff. But she was using the camera to do it. And then it came the interaction of World Star. And World Star don't know how much influence they had. Florence Star helped create a lot of these fuck ass niggas you see online nowadays. You know what I'm saying? RP to Q. You know what I'm saying? But it's the truth. A lot of these fuck ass niggas and a lot of these fuck ass antics that you see nowadays, they come from people and they get their birthplace from World Star. Who's gonna argue with me? Anyway, and I mean indulging in it. Parasocial interaction. They believe the people that are in the comments. They believe the people that are sitting there. They think these people are their friends. Oh, you're my friend. You think the same way I think. No, they just think on a segment of what you think. That doesn't mean in totality they think the way you think you. Oh God. Let me continue to read this. Many parasocial relationships, and if you're just now tuning in, a parasocial relationship is loosely definitive, means that an interaction that you have online and the influence that a person that is a media personality, the person that is a social media influencer, or whatever the case may be, some of these people that are the subscribers actually think they have a relationship with these people. Therefore, they are friends versus a peer-to-peer interaction, which means you're in person and you're talking to this person. It's a very big difference. And a lot of people have now somehow or another, and I think the segue for it was the pandemic and the isolation that many people across this country had. It influenced, especially us who were living in the cities. Understand what I'm saying? Like you could come outside. Y'all remember my trek. It's still here on this page. I was showing people how I was on the subway and I was the only person on the subway. My at one point, the height of my day was getting on the train from the Bronx because the trains were still running, getting on the train from the Bronx and ride all the way to Brooklyn to go to that Trader Joe's. You understand what I'm saying? That was just a big highlight of my day. Then I got into, okay, well, let me go to the park. And there was a few people out here and there, whatever. But for the most part, there was nobody out. It was dead. Connecticut was the same way. New York was the same way. Jersey was the same way. It was dead. You know, well, this led to a lot of people mentally trying to get some people in. I like intelligent people in my conversation. I don't like people that are like goofies and stuff like that or whatever. So you'll see a few people fade on out of here, whatever. Let them. They're going back to the matrix. They're going back to plug in. Don't worry about them. Anyway, long story, because don't ever get into the value of how many subscribers or how many people you got in your chat room or whatever. Some of them are going to log off because that's what they like. Because I was talking about them. You see what I'm saying? The people that just logged off, they were upset because I was talking about them. You don't get it? Let me write my Cash App in here real quick because ain't nobody gonna do that for me but me. I'm one of the most hated motherfuckers in the culture. But you know, they hated Jesus too, so you know it is what it is. They hated Jesus too. And he was trying to help them. Anytime you're trying to help a group of people, you must understand that every time you're always going to come under opposition. They're going to try to stop you. They don't like you. They're not going to care about what you're saying. They're going to try to mock what you're saying or whatever. These are things you can find in Merriam-Webster's dictionary, Oxford dictionary. I don't know how you're going to denounce that. These are wide circulated ideals that sit on the principles of people from DCM to clinical psychiatrists internationally. Doesn't matter what color y'all. Psychosis affects all. You understand what I'm saying? If tomorrow you get an aneurysm, does that not affect black, white, polka dot, and all the other? If tomorrow you get a broken leg, does that not affect black, white, polka dot, and all the other? You understand what I'm saying? I don't get what you're saying. Many parasocial relationships fulfill the needs of typical social interaction, but they potentially reward insecurity. Haha. Um, Many who possess a dismissive attachment style to others may find one sided interactions to be preferable in love of dealing with others, while those who experience anxiety from typical interactions may find comfort in the lives of celebrities consistently being present. Additionally, whatever a celebrity or online figure may do to provoke emotional responses from their audience, whatever Listen once again. Additionally, whatever a celebrity or online figure may do can provoke emotional responses from their audience, some even going as far as suffering and negative feelings because of it. The research of PSI, which is, once again, I want to say this parasocial interaction. The study, hold on, what was I at here? I accidentally hit my finger right here. My fault, guys. My fault. Well, the research attained many parasocial. I'm sorry, guys. We'll start right here. And I think it was right here. Follows the social. Yeah, here we go. Studying social interaction by extension of parasocial interaction follows a social cognitive approach to define the individual cognitive activity. Accordingly, there are many psychological processes at work in both parasocial relationships and face to face interactions. However, the parasocial relationship does not follow the process of typical long term relationships. The media user remains a stranger to the media figure, whereas this strangeness would gradually evaporate in a typical social interaction. Many parasocial relationships fulfill the needs of typical social interaction, but potentially reward insecurity. All right, I'm gonna say that to you one more time. Many parasocial relationships, those are relationships that are definitive, basically, they only exist online. Okay, fulfill the needs of typical social interaction. Now, this is what happened during the pandemic. Listen to me. For those that are smart people, listen to me. Many parasocial relationships fulfill the needs of typical social interaction. This is what people were lacking during the pandemic for almost 2 years straight. Year and a half, year and 2 months at the very least. They were lacking social interaction. So what did they do? They took refuge in personalities online. Many parasocial relationships fulfill the needs of typical social interaction, but don't potentially reward insecurity. Many who possess a dismissive attachment style to others may find a one-sided interaction to be preferable in dealing with others, while those who experience anxiety in the typical interactions may find comfort in the lives of celebrities consistently being present, meaning I always have to talk about this person because I have nothing else. Additionally, whatever a celebrity or online figure may do to provoke an emotional response from their audience, or even going as far as suffering from negative feelings because of it. The research of PSI obtained significant interest after a vert of users and gratifications approached a mass communication research in the early 1970s. In that way, listen to me once again, mass communications. This was mass communications known at that time as TV, um, magazines, etc., etc., etc. Facts, they only wanted God for their own personal reasons. Needs so true. Continue with the enlightenment. I'm trying to, intelligent man. I'm trying to. The research of PSI obtained significant interest after advert of users and gratifications approached the mass communication research in the 1970s. A study of early soap opera identified, isn't that funny? The study of early soap opera identified two essential functions of PSI: companionship, pandemic, no companionship. Companionship. I've got companionship by watching this media personality up here. We're going to break this shit down. The research of PSI attained significant interest in the avert of uses and gratifications approach to mass communication research in the early 1970s. A study of early soap opera identified two essential functions of PSI: companionship and personal identity. Rosengren and Windroth further argued that PSI can be identified as a process of viewers interacting with media figures. This shit goes back to the 70s, what you're seeing right now. Let me share this a little bit more. Social interaction online versus peer to peer. These people nowadays in the culture are so caught up that they don't even do their research. There used to be a time where you couldn't sit online. You couldn't sit nowhere in no space. Who remember those times where you couldn't sit in the space and tell a nigga what's what, and I'm just supposed to believe it. And you ain't got nothing to prove it or know nothing. It's just the way you feel. You couldn't do that. You couldn't do that. You couldn't come to Harlem and be like, or you couldn't come to Brooklyn, or you couldn't come to Queens and be like, yo, I feel like this, so I think we should do this. You couldn't do that. You understand what I'm saying? But now, because of the interaction here on social media and a lot of these girls being able to, and guys, being able to convince these audience that, hey, I'm such and such, I'm doing so, projecting to something that they're not. This nigga's on here talking about I'm the shit and this, that, and the other and the third. They live in the house with their grandmother or some shit. Like it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Live with their uncles and shit. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, listen, let me continue here. The research on PSI obtained significant interest after ever users of gratification approached the mass communication research of the 1970s. A study at early soap opera identified two essential functions of PSI: companionship and personal identity. Rosengren and Riddall further argued that PSI can be identified in the process of viewers interacting with media figures, but no such interaction did not produce identification. So they're looking for their identity within this, but it's never being divulged or presented to them because they can't find it. So it's like, like I don't know, it's like somebody that then got so high that they can't get high no more. That's the best way I can describe it. You know what I'm saying? It's an addiction and it feeds their dopamines, just like drugs do to people. This is an important distinction because identification has a longer history than PSI. Subsequent research has identified PSI as evident when identification is not present. These are people that haven't found themselves. So now, before, y'all remember, if you over 35 years old, you remember this. You remember when you would go out and people would be like, yo, I learned from everybody in the hood, Sean. That's how I learned how to do shit. I used to watch, my dad wasn't around. There was people that say this. My dad wasn't around, so I learned from the dudes in the hood. That's why I learned that. You ask any real street motherfucker, that's what they're going to tell you. I learned from watching dudes in the hood. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know you, Keisha, and go fuck yourself. So what the problem is here, and the reason I said that to Keisha, because Keisha is amongst that little batch that I'm talking about. She lives in that world. Keisha just came in here and said, wait, you support Diddy? I haven't even mentioned a word about Diddy. But you see how Keisha came in here, and I don't trust no bitch named Keisha anyway. I don't fuck with no bitches named Keisha. Every time I met a bitch named Keisha, she went about shit. So anyway, Keisha, the one I just blocked here, I'm going to show y'all her message. You know what I'm saying? Keisha wrote, wait, you support Diddy? Bitch, are you not listening to what we're talking about? Women like that are the problem in the culture because they prioritize disrupting. They don't respect what their own men are talking about. When I'm sitting here, I said, this is for the people. This bitch turned around and made this something about Diddy. You get what I'm saying? This is the distortion that you have from these women and men that live their life in parasocial relationships where they're dictated to because they have nothing in reality. Don't nobody in their house love them. A lot of these people get disrespected in their house. A lot of these women that hop on the camera or whatever talk about essay and all these different obstacles that are going up against real women that are going through real situations. A lot of these women don't care about nothing like intelligent mindset about keeping drama. And if you pay attention to a lot of these bitches' real lives, you'll see that their lives are full with drama as well. These bitches ain't got shit going on offline. They sit up online, they turn this camera on, they turn the light on or whatever. You always see these same motherfuckers sitting in their house because they scared to come out. And stop making videos talking about you outside where you ain't nowhere but at the fucking local Starbucks, you bitch you. You understand what I'm saying there? See, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to separate and get y'all the motherfuckers that's got minds of your own still, and then the last batch of those that are still alive, because the Bible even talk about this. You understand? Then when we said the mark of the beast, you're in that time. Here it is. Da-da! You understand? Those with the mark. You understand what I'm saying? So there's a lot of people within your own culture. Devils don't just exist by race. Devils exist everywhere. There's devils within your culture. But some people want to think that everybody, if a nigga goes out right now and shoots up fucking the projects and kills 3 children, is that a fucking angel? If a nigga right now breaks into your grandma's house and steals all her life savings, is that a fucking angel? No, that's a demon. That was a demon on his last way. And we got to be able to identify these motherfuckers within the culture. So the same way you want to sit there and you want to talk about Diddy or whatever, you are a hypocrite to go against your own measure and thought process when you say anything other than that. Now, would you care to argue? Would you care to argue? Huh? Would you care to argue? If you're sitting here and you're saying that, then that means you need to rescind everything you said about Puff. See how that works? Let's go back. There's a lot of hypocritical shit going on out here, a lot of tribalistic shit, and I'm with tribalistic shit if it's working towards a goal. I'm not with tribalistic shit if it's inclusive, just trying to take down your own in front of a whole audience in the world and basically confirm what they have already had tropes about your own men, including your sons, your daughters, and your nephews, and everybody fucking else. And like I said, this is just the first portion of the show here. Please sit back. There's more to it. I had to break this down for a little bit so I can get to the point. Noticing the point, during the last several decades, PSI has been dedicated. Yeah, here we go. Yes, because I read that for you. Yep, okay. During the last decades, PSI, which many of y'all just now tuning in, it's called parasocial interaction. That means an interaction that is had when you are somebody that's online and you're worshiping basically a media star, media personality, or whoever, whatever. But you guys have line. That's the type of people these are. During the last several decades, PSI has documented and researched analyzing the relationship between audience members and television newscasters. TV and radio talk shows, sitcom characters, and other TV celebrities or performers. Research is also conducted on how favorable PSI can be facilitated. Y'all listen to me. I'm breaking down the code for y'all. Like, what fucking more do y'all want from me? I'm breaking down the code for you. Niggas just like tuning in and they tuning out. Listen. Y'all become fucking robots. You don't even have your own fucking mind anymore. Once again, during the last several decades, not the last year, not the last week, not the last month, during the last several decades, you motherfuckers don't get this is a plan that they had executed for y'all, and y'all falling right into it and don't even realize it. During the last several decades, PSI has been documented, meaning there's been demographics collected. PSI has been documented in the research analyzing the relationship between audience members and TV newscasters, TV and radio talk show hosts, which today the YouTubers, the modern day YouTube talk show hosts, sitcom characters, and other TV celebrities or performers. Research has also been conducted on how favorable PSI can be facilitated between celebrities and their followers. Research is also conducted on how favorable PSI can be facilitated between celebrities and their followers on social media. I'm going to say it for you one more time. Listen to all the slow motherfuckers in the back. This is a plan, you dumb motherfuckers. They've been sitting here doing research on this shit for fucking decades. So, of course, they know how to deal it out to you. And once again, you've been fooled. Jesus fucking Christ. Research has been conducted on how favorable PSI can be facilitated between celebrities and their followers on social media, specifically through the interactions followers have with their celebrity posts on social media. Although different PSI scales have been employed in these studies, PSI is clearly documented with each persona. Let me read that for you one more fucking time for all the people in the back that's drooling down their lips. During the last several decades, PSI has been documented in research analyzing the relationship between audience members and television newscasters, TV, radio talk show hosts, sitcom characters, and other TV celebrities or performers. Research has also been conducted on how social media, specifically through interactions followers have with the celebrity posts on their social media. Although different PSI scales have been employed in these studies, PSI is clearly documented with each persona, meaning that every last one of these motherfuckers that take place show the same exact fucking symptoms. This is the Matrix, nigga. Y'all still don't get it, do it. Let me get some more intelligent people in here, man. I can sit up here all day and explain this or whatever, and they still wouldn't get it. They still wouldn't get it. They still wouldn't get it. A lot of people just ain't gonna get it. There's 2 or 3 brothers fuckers like me. We need money to move. I'm gonna do some other things today or whatever. You understand what I'm saying? But it is what it is. Noticing the importance of media in the area of psychological research, noticing the importance, once again, Noticing the importance of media in the area of psychological research, academic David Giles asserted in 2002 in his paper that there's a need for PSI research to move away from the field of mass communication and into the field of psychology. Now, this is where it starts. Now, listen to me. Remember, I told you this past 5, 6 years, or whatever, you really seen this uptick on social media. Listen once again. Noticing the importance in the area of psychological research. Noticing in the importance of media in the area of psychological research, academic David Giles exerted in his 2002 paper that there is a need for PSI research to move away from the field of mass communication, meaning traditional communication, radio, TV, etc., newspaper, and hold on one second. Yeah. In his 2002 paper, there's a need for PSI research to move away from the field of mass communication and into the field of psychology. Now, this is where it gets dove on the masses. Now, the reason they were going into psychology now was because how can we matriculate these old forms that we've been using via newspaper, via this, via that, via whatever, and now exert them into a digital space? This is the part that the game was. Now, these motherfuckers, in my personal opinion, they've been spending the past 15, 20 years to perfect it. They used a lot of these social media engines, just like this one you viewing me on, this like Facebook, Twitter, or whatever, to delve every last one of these out. If you're just now tuning in, I said that there's an Indian gentleman who was actually the co-creator of Facebook. He doesn't get as much notoriety as Mark Zuckerberg does, but he's on camera saying this. He's saying we knew what the effects was because, if many of y'all don't know, there's a couple people that are being sued. The reason they want to take down TikTok is because of the pure simple fact they said the effects that it has on the children. Okay, well, what about the rest of these motherfucking world sites? What about the rest of them? What about the one I'm using right now? That doesn't do it. All of them do it. Noticing the importance of mass media in psychological research, academic David Giles asserted in 2002 paper that there was a need for PSI research to move away from the field of mass communication into the field of psychology. Studies in this area are commonly conducted by focusing a key psychological issue for PSI concerning the similarity between parasocial relationships and ordinary social relationships. Okay, for example, academic John Turner adapted the idea that homophily, the tendency for friendships to form between people who are alike in some designated respect, to examine the interpersonal and psychological predictors in parasocial interaction with television performers. The author found that one dimension of homophily, and that's spelled HOMOPHILY for anybody who wants to look it up, attitude was the best predictor of parasocial relationships. So your ideas, however you were a common in fact. Hathaway indicated that although there seems to be a prevailing to analyze PSI in the domain of social psychology, a solid connection to psychological theory and developmental theory has been missing. Hathaway further suggested that more psychological research is in need in order to develop parasocial theory, meaning they didn't even know about this shit in full guess of how they could because the internet had took them by storm so quickly. You understand? Make sure y'all hit that like button for me. I appreciate it. If not, it's all good too. Don't worry about it. It's going to get out anyway. Specific issues cited that how parasocial relationships are derived from parasocial interaction and the way those relationships further influence and media usage. So if you guys don't understand, the whole point of this is they basically they saw what your trigger points were. You understand what I'm saying? From decades to decades of research, and now we got to acquiesce that research into a different type of research. Now we have to see how parasocial interaction develops online. And based off what they got from their research, they were able to inject you with more. So listen very carefully. Hathaway indicated that although it seems to be prevailing, they analyze. Hathaway indicated that although there seems to be a prevailing to analyze PSI in the domain of social psychology, a solid connection of psychological theory and developmental theory had been missing. I'm going to say that for you again. A solid connection of psychological theory and developmental theory had been missing. Hathaway further suggested that more psychological research is needed to able to develop parasocial theory. Keep that there. Theory. All right. Specific issues cited were how parasocial relationships are derived from parasocial interaction and the way relationships further influence media usage as well as social construction of reality. The Matrix, nigga. You want me to read that for y'all one more time? Hathaway indicated that although there seems to be a prevailing to analyze PSI, parasocial interaction, in the domain of social psychology, a solid connection to psychological theory and developmental theory had been missing. Okay, a solid connection to psychological theory and developmental theory had been missing, meaning what you intake mentally and how you develop from that as a child or mid-tier teen to an adult. All right. Hathaway further suggested more, just like I told y'all earlier, they worried about the kids and what they were going to matriculate into. Hathaway further suggested that more psychological research is needed in order to develop parasocial theory. Specific issues cited were how parasocial relationships are derived from parasocial interaction and the way those relationships further influence media usage. So basically, the more that you delve in and you believe in these podcasts or whatever, it's better for the bottom line for them. So meaning like if you're a podcaster and you got 100,000 followers and say 20,000 of them at any given time turn into your podcast or whatever, well, that means more advertising dollars. So how do we, if you're like somebody that's partnered with YouTube or whatever, receiving AdSense dollars. So then it becomes, okay, now that we know that this person gets 10,000 subscribers that come in and view them or her, now that we know that, how do we make this work for us? And what can we do to keep them there watching that particular person? Or why do they stay there watching that particular person or whatever? Regardless if we're running ads or not, we want to know why they're staying with you. And that's where comes into parasocial interaction and development and psychological studies. They want to find out why do these people keep coming back? And once they find out the tenets of that, then they're able to more aptly throw it into your face and include it in the algorithms, include it in features that they allow you to use and not use. You understand what I'm saying? They allow you to do that because, and this is one of the very reasons I always say at the same time, how come like unlike Facebook, on Facebook, when you go on there and somebody comes into your chat room, you automatically can see them just like that. Over here on this one over here, since the insertion of this fucking website, you have never been able to see who the fuck is in your chat room. And I find that a problem. It allows people to harass people. It allows people to use anonymity to be fucking bullies and shit like that or whatever. And I think if you guys are ever going to change anything, that's the first thing you need to change. You need to change that. And the second thing they need to change on YouTube is stop phoning us out to all these strangers because shit is getting tough with these advertising dollars. These advertisers don't want to pay you. So what they do now is they just float us out to fucking strangers. I looked at my demographics, my analytics for this month, and it was something like 68% of the people that were checking me out were all new people. I said, well, no wonder ain't nobody donating to me. I don't know these motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? They don't want me. You want some shit, bro. I also agree with you. You want some shit, bro. Dead ass, I agree with you. I appreciate it. We're gonna continue on. And guys, make sure if anything, y'all support me. I'm gonna be traveling there. I got something special for y'all, but I wanted to break this down first. You understand? Because I thought this was of most importance. But I'm gonna be traveling there, moving around. So make sure y'all hit that cash app, man. I got something special for y'all. If y'all don't, then oh well, it'll be on my other channel. If y'all over there, y'all go check that out over there. We'll be over there with it. So it depends on how they, because the only people that get rewarded on here because of this PSI attitude, parasocial interaction attitude, is people that are lying on people that day to day have the same material. Like, come on, bitch. Ain't even that many motherfucking progressions going on with Puff right now. See, I just lost 5 motherfuckers. They got more offended by me talking about my cash app than offended by what's going on with them and how they could take this information back to their children or whatever. I was talking about psychological development. They were so much in their feelings because this is what they think. They think as individuals about money all the time. This is why I ain't gonna say that. Don't say that. I've been getting better. Cause it'd be shit I be wanting to say and niggas know it's true and like they don't want to say it. You know what I'm negative person, or you have to be bashing on someone in order for the masses in that culture to appease you and give you donations. I'll give you a perfect example. If tomorrow morning I got on here and I said, or this morning I got on here and I said, yo, you know what? Forget Puff. I hope he stays locked up for a million years. I denounce him. I don't like him. Blah, 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 blah. The cash apps will be flooded in. They will just week one after another after another. But I'm more of an intelligent man than that. And I ain't never been the type to believe in the motherfucking system to that degree. You understand what I'm saying? I've never been. I saw a motherfucker stand in front of a courthouse with his lawyer and basically lie and then get confronted about it yesterday by one Jaguar Wright. And if that bitch would have just shut the fuck up, we would have had him. We would have had him the fuck out the way. Huggy, listen to me. Start learning how to zip that shit up. Sometimes you just gotta shut the fuck up when you win it, nigga. That's your problem. You never know when to shut the fuck up when you win it. You understand what I'm saying? And that's been your problem every fucking time. But we'll get into that again. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to Jaguar Wright. She had that motherfucker yesterday, and she just would have shut the fuck up for that 10 seconds. Bitch, that nigga was getting ready to tell you everything you wanted to know. You fucked it up. You know? I got to say that. You had it and fucked it up, tumbled the ball. Stop fumbling the ball, ho. Shit. Crazy ass Philly bitch. Anyway. Another important consideration of PSI is at the psychological level, there is a form of PSI existing even in interpersonal social situations. People may use fundamentally the same cognitive processes in both interpersonal and mediated communications. Giles' 2002 paper also suggested that the element of direct interaction occurred in mediated interaction, such as talking to a presenter or celebrity guest, may continue in social interactions with a cartoon character or fictional protagonist in their mind. This may finally constitute a new way of interpreting social interaction. It's a new way of interpreting social interaction. A new way of interpreting social interactions. Hold on one second, folks. I just got to share this, get some smart folks in here. I'm trying to like conspiracy theorists because I don't hang with niggas like that in real life. You know what I'm saying? And I don't like it. I'm gonna go in here today too. Something we get tired of. We get tired of stingy, greedy, goofy people that want to log out when you do this before. But I'm really giving y'all the game, and I'm about to end in like 10 minutes. So I'm gonna just do this real quick, and then I'm gonna end off of here and say what I gotta say. So like 15, 20 minutes. This may finally constitute a new way in interpreting social interaction. A further consideration is application of social cognitive approaches in individual levels. It's traditionally accepted that the approach is inadequate by itself by the studies of relationships. So they've already concluded this doesn't work. It is traditionally accepted that this approach is inadequate by itself for the studies of relationships. They have already realized that PSI, parasocial interaction, doesn't work. That means when you, in tune, think that a social media influencer is your fucking friend because you talk to them in the chat room. However, growing literature on the role of imagination in social interaction. I can't make this up. However, a growing literature on the role of imagination in social interaction. They don't want to hear this real. That's why you're going to see it. Make sure if you're smart, hit the like button. They don't want to hear this real. They want to hear the fake. I'm trying to tell you. Now, understand, as you see a couple people logging off or whatever, keep in mind, shout out to everybody that's still here, the 70-something people that's here. As you start seeing these people log off, and I'm talking this talk, these are the people that prefer to go back to the matrix. You understand? They don't want to be free. So you gotta let them remain slaves. Let them remain slaves. They don't want to be free. That's four more. They want to run back to the plantation too. Black, white, polka dot, doesn't matter. If you want to run back to the plantation, you don't want to hear this type of conversation, go ahead, go on back over there. We'll give you a few seconds. Go ahead. Go ahead. We don't want them type of people over here. See, I'm gonna teach y'all something else. Y'all gonna have to learn, and you're gonna find, and whether you black, white, polka dot, whatever, you're gonna have to let the slaves and the sheep go. Listen to me again. You're going to have to let the slaves and the sheep go. There's a lot of people that's in black culture that consider themselves leaders and Latin culture that consider themselves leaders, and they're nothing but sheep. They're sheep. All they got to do is look no further than who they work for. So here you got. However, a growing literature of the role of imagination in social interaction suggests that imaginative activity, imaginary friends may be They don't get it, dog. They don't get it. They don't get it. These are the people that are logging off, they gonna be the ones screaming, help us. Help it. Run right past them motherfuckers with your AR in your hand. You understand what I'm saying? Don't give them a canned good because a lot of people don't know. There's a lot of these weekend warriors, especially a lot of Trump supporters. I ain't gonna hold you. That go up in the mountains over the weekend. You understand what I'm saying? These are ex-army men. These are ex-military men, and they go up and they practice on how to shoot and shit like that because they're waiting for something to pop off. Many of these people, they make their announcements online. Many of these people have PSI, parasocial relationships with their followers, and their followers believe them. They're willing to go to the same extent. Meanwhile, you sitting at home talking about Pump. Yeah, let me tell you what else. Pump got to go to court. Yep. And there's another victim, and we want justice for the victim from the white justice system. And even though we can't get reparations, we're going to stand firm on this. And we led by women. Oh, shit, man. This is why I told you, listen, I have just realized how lost people are here. And it's sad, especially the two identifying fucking coaches I belong to. I mean, to be just quite honest with you, you saw the amount of people that were in here and they logged off over this conversation right here. These people are fucking losers. You understand what I'm saying? You're never going to get anywhere with these people, not collectively anyway. You'll find individuals between them, between Black and Latin culture, whatever. Most of them live in destitute. Most of them live with survivor mechanism built into them rather than creating mechanism. They have created nothing. This is why I told you, as they have their attempts to try to take down the music industry or whatever, the Black portion of it anyway. What you'll find very quickly is they don't even have any jobs prepared to replace the jobs that they're getting rid of, or the employers. As they're getting rid of the employees, they're not even creating jobs so the people that they employed will have to go to. So evidently, your destruction or your adamant destruction of somebody for the rights of more so it's about an ego thing with women. It's not even about they care about, like I told you, a lot of these girls, they don't even care about these women that they're talking about. They don't give a fuck about Cassie. I heard somebody say the other day, fuck Kim Porter. I was like, wow, you said that? You know what I'm saying? Like in the midst of who they said it for, I was like, yo, how come you ain't say nothing to that nigga about that? I heard that shit. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna say nothing though, but that's cool. But you know what I mean? Because that ain't my battle to fight right there with that one. But it's crazy to me how we have people out here that don't realize how adept they are with this whole thing. Now, first of all, I want to say happy birthday, Puff. You understand what I'm saying? I want to say happy 55th fucking birthday. I remember, before I go into this a little bit more, this was on your birthday right here, and I think at this time you were turning 34 or 35, somewhere around there. I think you might have been turning like 34. You know what I'm saying? But I wanted to show people this or whatever because these are my memories, and nobody's gonna take away my fucking memories. Nobody. You know what I'm saying? You allow a motherfucker to destroy your memories, I feel that you should be able to come in and destroy theirs. We were fighting a huge battle with the Mean Girls Club. There's a lot of women that are online that want to deduce any person that's worked in the music industry or any person that's been of accordance in the music industry or many other places or whatever. They want to deduce these men and women and make it look like they the shit and we were nothing. No, 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 no. It's quite the opposite. You ain't shit and you ain't gonna never be shit. You understand? Because I like, well, a lot of these fucking what's the name? This was on Puff. This was Puff, and this was doing his birthday. I forgot what year this was, but this was Puff doing his birthday. I'm gonna zoom in on this real quick. You know what I'm saying? This is at the old office right here. You know what I mean? 1540. You know what I'm saying? And that was his old birthday right there, whatever. I might even put this up as my header or whatever. Because I did what I thought he would have wanted me to do. I said, let me come in here and try to talk to these motherfuckers and tell them what they up against. And he still ain't gonna listen to you. And it's just like Sodom and Gomorrah. You know what I'm saying? With Sarah and Lot. God told me, said, whatever you do, just lead the city. I'm gonna destroy the city. Only thing I need y'all to do is just keep running, get away from the city with the rest of them, but don't look back. Sarah, being the hard-headed bitch she was, what she do? Look back and turn into a pillar of song. Well, not pillar of salt. Excuse me, salt. However, growing literature of the role of imagination in social interaction suggests that some imaginative activity, e.g., imaginary friends, may be an influential factor in the outcome of real social interaction. PIC is nowadays regarded as an extension of normal social connotation. So now they have normalized, if y'all don't get what I'm saying, they have normalized parasocial interaction as real interaction. This is the trick. You're welcome. I want to tell Puff, happy birthday. I want to talk something real quick because I was going to talk about it at the beginning, but I want to talk about it now. About a particular little mean little girl, little curly haired girl. We're going to call her TT. And TT, in my opinion, and I'm saying presumptuously, TT has nothing to offer the culture. TT daily gets on her podcast, and I'm starting to wonder how old this bitch is. And I say that respectfully. But I'm starting to wonder how old this bitch is. Because she gets online and she kind of talks like, you ever heard Foxy Brown or Chrissy Love or all them old movies like that? You know, shit your uncles used to watch and shit like that, and you happen to look at them, whatever. She kind of tries to talk like Chrissy Love and Foxy Brown. Ooh, sugar, and let me tell you something here. Like, whenever I hear a bitch talk like that, I automatically know something up with you. You understand what I'm saying? Like, something up with you. And usually it comes from here in Connecticut. For my Connecticut people, stand up. Usually when you hear girls try to use that type of accent and speak like that or whatever, it's usually from girls that come from reserved backgrounds. They ain't never been around nothing. They ain't never been involved in nothing. You understand what I'm saying? I'm a quintessential little nice girl. No, you're not. You're just a bitch that ain't never been caught out on no bullshit. That's all, ho. Now, let me give you an example. It's bad enough that this chick sits around and lies, but what I really have a problem with is because we have so many men on social media. Like we never talk about this, but there's so many. A lot of these men. Listen, ladies, the reason that y'all complain about a lot of the men that y'all date is because these niggas were raised by bitches. Let's just keep it real. They were raised by women. You understand what I'm saying? Cantankerous, nasty, belligerent, this fucking abusive women in most cases. And these women that they were raised by, they raised these daughters and they raised these sons. Problem is, the sons that they raise, they act so much in accordance like a woman as their single mama did. That now, when you get these men as your husband, your boyfriend, or whatever, they want you to take care of them like mama because of pure simple fact they were raised up by mama. Mama used to make the bed, mama used to make them something to eat, mama used to wash the dishes, mama used to pull out the clothes for them, mama used to iron for them, all that shit or whatever. So when some of these niggas, they think they're getting a traditional wife, no, you want another mama, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with a lot of these chicks. A lot of these chicks be like, well, I'm late on my bills. Oh, I can't pay this. You need to get your daddy over here and handle that shit. That shit that a father take care of, not a boyfriend. You understand what I'm saying? It's not my fault. You was $400 back on your light bill before I got here, bitch. You understand what I'm saying? So you have like these two different, what's the name? So many young men are hoes nowadays. They can't wipe their own ass, little boys. Yeah, and a lot of women are too. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not on here just prancing on the men because I think the women are more at fault than anything. A lot of these women, I speak on it all the time. I remember when girls were 12, 13, 14 years old having kids in high school nationwide. They had a show on called 16 and Pregnant that ran consecutively for almost 13, 14 seasons. So they didn't have a lack of contestants. That's in the rural parts of the country. Those were white kids mostly on that show. You understand what I'm saying? So the spiral has been there for a long time. But I think a lot of women, they don't want to live in reality because of all the sisterhood shit and all the shit that they be portraying. Bitch, the nigga that you're complaining about was raised by another woman. You understand what I'm saying? So instead of getting in on him, go talk to that bitch and be like, what the fuck were y'all doing all them years in your house? That's who you need to be talking to. If you got a boyfriend right now, he's fucked up. First question you should ask him, yo, was your daddy around? And if his daddy wasn't around, uncles wasn't around, cousins wasn't around, some type of male influence, right? Turn around and ask his mama, what kind of shit did y'all have going on when y'all was growing up? Ask that question. And you'll find a lot of times that you'll find the same conclusion. All right, this boy was raised by a woman, but at the same time, we sitting up here talking about women are so great. Well, why is this motherfucking man so fucking terrible if he was raised by one of these great ass women? Well, here's the answer. This bitch was 12, 13, 14, 15 years old when she had this little motherfucker. And grandma, auntie Titi and all them raised this little motherfucker. They wasn't about shit. You see their first example of a product, which was his mama. And motherfuckers don't want to admit that. They just don't want to admit that. See, pride and fake chivalry and, fake showmanship, fake ego, fake, all these fake things have got on here. Did you hear the last parts of what I read? They said parasocial interaction has changed. What they would rather say is imaginary friends into real, actual cognitive interaction. They now have both of them submerged into one piece. So what previously would have been considered imaginary friends and imaginary relationships is not considered on some pillar or elk as being the same as an interpersonal relationship, meaning that you're outside and you're shaking hands with somebody, giving somebody a pound or whatever. Don't y'all see what the fuck going on? You understand? And you got these little leaders and facilitators like TT and a whole bunch of other ones or whatever. They're so caught up in it so much that they don't even realize, bitch, you a slave. You might as well go you might as well get you a bag, you know what I'm saying? Put on some little mittens so you don't cut your fingers on them. I heard they got little pricky thorns on them where you pick the cotton, and you might as well just get out in the field and get back to work. Get back to work, get out. You're doing a fine job, fine job. Worth every penny. Worth every penny. My niece has a 25-year-old baby daddy. He won't work. He smokes with his boys and goes to the gym. That's it. Why is his mama struggles to pay bills alone and shit? It blows my mind. That's the way she raised that motherfucker. That's the way she raised that motherfucker. So why y'all ain't asking the mama? What were y'all doing in that house when your son was growing up? Let me get back to TT. TT, I don't know TT's personal life. And I'm talking about female curly-haired vlogger TT. I'm not going to say your fucking name because you don't deserve any promotion. I think you're a real low-budget bitch, to be quite honest with you. You understand what I'm saying? And I wouldn't have said that prior to not. See, I'm very good at sniffing out bitches that try to pretend like they're something versus bitches that are actually about something. I've been around the likes of Dia Sims, who was the co-creator of motherfucking Revolt TV. I've been around multiple different female artists that had a whole different message than your normal day Suki Hana and fucking Sexy Red and shit. And these bitches still maintaining, still multimillionaires, having multiple different ballots in different locations and different venues and different areas of motherfucking having money. So make no mistake about it. I know some black women and Latin women that get it. You understand what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying? I know some black women that get it. I don't put them synonymous with these little punk ass YouTuber bitches that sit around and they don't do nothing but do the same thing they would do in their neighborhood, which is promote trouble, gossip about people and shit like that. These are regular motherfuckers. Don't nobody give a fuck about these motherfuckers. You understand what I'm saying? TT could fall off a fucking building tomorrow. They'll weep for her for one fucking day and nobody will remember about her the next day. All right, that's how insignificant she is. But these followers and this PSI interaction shit has these motherfuckers believing that they're actually worth more than what they are. This chick has never been in the music industry a day in her life, but she thinks because she's got people like, and I'm gonna say your names, she got people like Bit Midwest, Gene Deal speaking up for her. She got people like Star speaking up for her. Listen, this quite frankly, bitch, the niggas can't help you. Simple as that. Them niggas can't help you. They're not gonna save you. And Gene and Star, y'all need to tell that bitch that. All right. Now I'm gonna continue on here. This chick, unlike everybody else, Star has been in the music industry. Gene has been in the music industry. I have been in the music industry, and many others that are on here. Shout out to Big Face Gary, Choke No Joke. All these people have been in the music industry. This bitch hasn't. You understand what I'm saying? And you and your Delaware ass living sister that came on here trying to pretend, that's how I already caught you. You understand what I'm saying? Bitch, I was 3 steps ahead of you. As soon as I saw the name, I said, oh, that's her sister. She done brought a sister on here. You still here? You still here? Yeah, that was probably her just logged off right now. That's why you ain't said nothing since that other day. You understand what I'm saying? Don't worry, I'm not gonna reveal who you are. But if you were paying attention, the bitch that was from Delaware, that was the bitch's sister. I was 3 steps ahead of you, bitch. Don't you know I listen to Big? The fuck you talking about? Country ass hoes. Country hoes. So these country suburban hoes, you understand what I'm saying? They think they slick. So this chick, she sits by the fact of the position that one of her family members works. That entitles her to say whatever the fuck she wants to say about whoever the fuck she wants to say something about. And in this case, it's Puff. This bitch up until 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning has video after video after video after video regurgitating nothing but with Law and Crime Network, with fucking the local news. I can even tell you the news agency she's grabbing shit from. She grabs shit from CSNBC. She grabs shit from Law and Crime Network. She grabs shit from TMZ. She grabs shit from fucking Fox. Some segments. She grabs shit from what's the other one she grabs shit from? She tried to grab something from Candace, and I think she heard me say something about Candace the other day when I went over there, where actually Candace Owens is fucking from across town. So when and that's still here on the video. See, we don't do the talking. Now we go there where the motherfuckers is at. So the bitch, she kind of surmised that or whatever. And I'm calling her a bitch now, and y'all wondering why I'm calling her bitch versus when I was like, yeah, I kind of want to hit it. I kind of don't want to hit it. I would not ever mix my DNA with that evil fucking cunt. And let me tell you what I mean by that. Because I want to say this respectfully. This chick, you know, we got this thing with us, you know what I'm saying? Real gangsters do or whatever. Go tell your boyfriend, your husband too. You understand what I'm saying? I love to meet him. We got this thing, right, where we don't bother children. You understand what I'm saying? Like, we don't fuck with children. Real G's, y'all know what I'm talking about. We don't fuck with kids. Like, it ain't even G to sit there and mention, like, you can't even come around real niggas in real life. You say whatever you want to online, but you can't come around real niggas in real life, and you previously was talking about kids. You understand what I'm saying? Like, for me personally, kids get on my fucking nerves. I don't mean I fucking hate them. You understand what I'm saying? That don't mean I'm gonna talk shit about them. I don't mean I'm gonna go out of my way or whatever. But kids get on my fucking nerves. You know what I'm saying? Especially kids I can't control. They're not my kids. I can't control them. You get on my fucking nerves. You know what I'm saying? But that don't mean I fucking hate them like boom humbug, like fucking Scrooge McDuck or some shit either. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you have female podcasters on here specifically that are taking this thing with the Puff thing and they're running a little bit too far. And I don't like when people talk shit about kids. And Puff's youngest baby was at that table. And this bitch was sitting there and she was just saying all this derogatory shit as these kids were wishing their daddy happy birthday. And what I saw in the comments section was some disgusting ass, fucking degenerate ass, low budget ass, probably got to walk through a puddle of piss to get to this fucking project apartment type bitches in your comment section, TT, sitting there talking about, oh, the kids probably in on it too. What kind of kids sit there and celebrate a band like that? Da, da, da. Like this man had already been convicted and all kinds of shit or whatever. And I said, nah, better yet, what type of low bottom barrel bitches sit online and make fun of some fucking kids and they had the most to say about the baby? One person wrote in the chat room that the baby was via a sexual assault. And I said, are you out of your fucking mind? Who writes some shit like that? But this is all on this girl's page. And as I look at the shit more, I said, well, let me go to some of the other videos. And you see the sickening shit that these bitches write in her chat room. You'll be like, oh, every last one of these motherfuckers got. This one bitch wrote this shit, and I swear to God to you, I can't make this up. Oh my God, when will this pain be over? When will this pain be over? What, bitch, are you crazy? She was like, oh my God, when will Diddy be convicted and this pain be over? This pain that I'm feeling. I'm like, these is mentally ill bitches. I go on and read another comment. Another bitch wrote about the kids. I'm talking about this is today. You can go look at the motherfucker yourself. You know what I'm saying? I don't flag people. I don't report their pages. I don't do none of that shit. These corny ass niggas that do that, they'll be like, yo, black power, and then we run over to the white man to report your page. Like, you know what I'm saying? Don't believe these niggas. These corny, dog. These niggas got no morals. They ain't got no integrity, and they ain't gonna kill nothing or let nothing die. Trust me. So my point is trying to get me, y'all. I'm back, baby. Don't worry about it. It's trying to get me. It's trying to get me. It's trying to get me. That's all right, baby. We're gonna keep talking about you. We're gonna keep talking about you. What happened? You can talk about everybody else and nobody's right. And they all have weak followers. Like their weak followers will sit in these areas and they'll talk shit about people all day long or whatever, whatever. But as soon as somebody says something about them, they ready to cry. YouTube, come save me. They talking about me. Help me, YouTube. You know what I'm saying? So you just gotta expect that. Don't worry about that. That's what they do. I told you, most of the African Americans and the Latinos that are on here, they basically into doing nothing but destroying each other. That's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? Welcome to the live chat. Remember to guard your privacy and abide by the what's in there. Yeah, y'all better abide. I'm gonna get you up out of here. Listen what people guard your privacy and abide by the what's in there. Yeah, y'all better abide. I'm gonna get you up out of here. Listen what people talking about over here. What signs do we look for? I don't about over here. What signs do we look for? I don't even know, man. You know, like I'll say this. Because I want to end this real quick. I don't be caring about this shit no more. I really don't. It used to be a time where I would care about like helping the culture and all that shit. I'm just kind of out of that now. Ain't that fucked up? I'm kind of out of that now. I really don't give a fuck too much about that no more. Because you see the reactions. I'm sitting up here telling niggas, hey, this is what's going on in the media world. This is what these niggas are doing to build up. I mean, for those that are intelligent, go back and watch the beginning. I'm sitting here breaking down, hey, listen, man, this is what y'all need to watch for. And many let me tell y'all this. Most of the people that are on here that have been part of the music industry and shit like that, they ain't gonna tell you about none of this shit. You know why they're not gonna tell you? Because it doesn't serve their purpose to tell you. And then on top of that, they ain't gonna tell you because of pure simple fact they're afraid of how you might use some of the shit that you've learned. You know what I mean? I broke down PSI for y'all. That you want to deal with it, you deal with it. You don't, you don't. But concluding with this chick, and chicks like her, it's a damn shame that you can sit around and you have to be a real low bottom person. I want y'all to do this because there's been her nieces, and I checked, you got nieces and nephews, right, TT? Had this have been her nieces and nephews, and somebody was sitting up there and they was making fun of them, she would be all up in arms. I can't believe somebody did this. You're terrible. Da, 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 da. This woman was sitting there and narrating. She could have just let the video played, said a couple little funny shits at the beginning. Now this bitch stopped the video, try to make fun of Puff's kids, stop the video again, try to make fun of Puff's kids. Then she pointed her attention to the baby that was sitting there, whatever. I was like, oh, this is a real mentally ill, my presumption, this is a real mentally ill chick. You know what I'm saying? And so I've been saying this. I can just tell by her erratic movements, you know, the googly eyes. You got those crazy eyes. And she's always looking in the camera like this, all erratic and shit. I'm like, there's something wrong with that bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know why nobody else can see it. Something's wrong with her. You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying? Like, this chick is up at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, and she doesn't have anything original. The only thing she's doing is regurgitating whatever she heard on the news. Oh shit, the CNN said something. Let me regurgitate this. Oh shit, Law and Crime said something. Let me regurgitate this. I'll add 2.3% of my own originality. She ain't got no originality whatsoever. This bitch is a professional parrot. That's all I'm telling you. You know how a parrot, you teach a parrot to say something, they regurgitate it back to you? That's what she is. She's a professional parrot. You understand what I'm saying? I don't like the chick. I don't like her. I'm not jealous of her. I care less about her. But what I don't like about her is you sit around and you lie to your audience. You know, and that's a deeply disturbing thing right there. You use pumping up this set to kind of like intrigue your following. And it's like your following, they seem like they kind of mentally ill them damn self. Podcasters, you usually get, yeah, all right. Usually when you get mentally ill podcasters, you get mentally ill subscribers. And that's what I think. You understand what I'm saying? And I swear to God, you got to be a bottom line, bottom barrel piece of shit to get on your podcast and roll a video of Puff's kids. I don't care what podcast it was, and sit there and make fun of them kids. You understand what I'm saying? When you wouldn't have did none of this shit if Puff was out. A lot of y'all niggas was scared of Puff when he was out of jail. And now y'all think because he's in jail, y'all shouldn't, like everything is just up for grabs. Like, who you think gonna be the next king or queen? It ain't gonna be y'all niggas. It ain't gonna be y'all. A lot of y'all are gonna see some changes within the next week. A lot of these podcasters. Remember I said this. A lot of y'all are gonna see some changes in the next week. You understand what I'm saying? A lot of y'all podcasters are going to see some changes in the upcoming week. So TT, you keep on keeping up your diatribe, making fun of kids. That's how bottom barrel you are. You making fun of babies now. You understand what I'm saying? That's somebody y'all want to follow. Y'all want to follow a bitch who sit around on a podcast and get views off of making fun of a baby. Then y'all go ahead and do that. That go to show what kind of low vibration type motherfuckers y'all are. I don't applaud that. Puff, happy fucking 55th, nigga. We love you. You understand what I'm saying? It ain't a part of taking up for you. It's a part of, let's see when the court case hit the date at the courthouse, then I'll make my decision. Oh, well, he's guilty of this. All right, my nigga, well, I can't stand by that. You understand what I'm saying? So this is where we part ways. You get what I'm saying? And that will be the reaction. But until then, all this trying to have trial and jury on your YouTube page or trying to do the work of the courthouse like you some fucking confidential informant. These niggas are sitting down, these grown-ass niggas that's 50, 60, fucking some of these niggas is approaching 65 fucking years old, talking about shit that happened in fucking 2003, 2001 or whatever. You motherfuckers should be ashamed of yourself. And like I said all the time, if these motherfuckers come up around you and you trying to be friends with them, be cautious at your own motherfucking recourse. Because as you can see, these niggas gonna sit down with a podcast and they're gonna talk about your whole life next. You understand what I'm saying? Oh, well, I was around about 4 or 5 years, man. He did this, he did that. There's a nigga running around right now talking about, well, yeah, I love how this nigga puts it. He's like, well, how many times did you, nigga ask me? He said, well, how long did you work for Puff? Well, I worked for him a couple times. He said, well, I worked for him a couple times, You worked for him a couple times, huh? That's funny. All these niggas got the most to say, worked for him for a couple of times. The only nigga that was around like that was Roger Bonds. He was the only nigga around like that. Bonds. Bonds was the most, out of everybody that was the security guards that I saw, Bonds and Breeze. That's it. And Big B, I didn't even throw your name in there like that, but that's the only two niggas I saw around like that. Bonds and Breeze. That's it. So I find it funny when niggas come out and like, never mind, man. Never mind. I already talked about that. Niggas online talking about stories. They talk about stories from 2013, 14. And nigga, you was gone from Bad Boy 2008, 2009. That nigga Chopper. I mean, not Chopper, Freddie P. You know what I'm saying? That shit was funny to me. I'm like, nigga, y'all was gone by like 2008, 2009. You gotta realize I was around Bad Boy 2000 going into 2001. And from that point up into 2016 going into 2017, I done seen niggas come and go over and over and over and over and over. Artists, fucking staff, niggas on the marketing team. I've seen CEOs come and go to other companies and start big. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've seen it. And so I remember these guys because we promoted their album. I even remember the promo we had for them. The niggas was in baseball outfits and shit. Bad Boy this, Bad Boy that. That was your first, second single, one or two. You know what I'm saying? That nigga was the worst one out of the bunch. Everybody said that. I'm not making nothing up. Freddie P was the worst one. That's what everybody said. I ain't saying that. Everybody said that. They was like, yo, we don't like him. He's whack. I remember the feedback. Everybody continuously said, and he gonna tell you his damn self. Everybody continuously said that you was the whack one out of the group. They said you, and then who was the other one everybody didn't like? A lot of people didn't like Dylon a little bit, but Dylon prevailed. You know what I'm saying? I know Dylon in real life. And so it was like, it was different. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not dissing to making the band movement or whatever, because it was a good movement. You know what I'm saying? But you got to realize that shit was facilitated by MTV. That wasn't even Puff's idea. It was just a business deal. Basically, let's take a whole bunch of strangers, put them together, and see what we can make out of them. It was you know what I mean? It was a goof. To be quite honest with you, it worked. It was a goof that worked, but it was a goof. When I hear Freddie P on there sitting up there talking about all this shit, yeah, nigga, you wasn't even around for that shit to take place. And I'm going to keep saying the same thing. I reached out to Doe. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to say it like that. You know who the fuck I'm talking about. I reached out to Doe. And I said to Doe, I said, yo, Doe, what's up with your mans? Like, and Doe never hit me back because he hit you. You know what I'm saying? Like, son, say what you want to say online. I can't control that. Know what I'm saying? But my nigga, when you tell stories about times when you wasn't around and it's adamant you wasn't around, even on the show, I don't know why niggas didn't even look at the show. All you got to do is go back to the shows. Freddie P left the band and went home. You went back down there to Florida. You don't remember that, nigga? I remember that. I remember that. And I remember when you went back to Florida, you was telling that same shit. Yo, you tell Puff, he come down here, he gonna have trouble. The nigga came down there and bought a house as a response. You don't remember that? I remember that, Freddie P. You said that same shit then. That nigga better not come to Florida. You gonna have problems down here in Florida. The nigga came down there and bought a house in your neighborhood, South Beach. Well, you ain't the South Beach, but you know what I mean. So the shit kind of funny to me, dog, that you online, you talking all these stories. And I don't know why Babs, none of them niggas in contacted you and told you the same shit. My nigga, you online told our stories. You wasn't even around to be president. Y'all niggas was done by 2010. Y'all niggas were literally done. And anybody that's bad boy staff or whatever, I wish I would speak the fuck up and say that shit. How the fuck is this nigga sitting up here talking about situations that happened in 2012, 13, 14, 15 when nigga you was gone? You wasn't around his staff. You wasn't around his fucking custodian, nothing. You were gone. You and the rest of them. Respectfully, y'all niggas was gone. You understand what I'm saying? You don't believe me? Go ask James Cruz when them niggas left Bad Boy Entertainment. I'll shut the fuck up from there. Tell him Professional sent you over there to ask him. Tell him Professional sent you over there to ask him. Ask Cruz. Cruz gonna tell you niggas was gone. Y'all was gone. Nigga, y'all was going like 2009, 2010, something like that. Y'all niggas was done with. Respectfully, your contracts were up, everything. And Babs went on to create something. Chopper went on to cruise out. Dylon, everybody went on to create something except for you, nigga. That's the real topic of shit right now. Everybody went on to create something. I'm talking about in a public view, except for you. Tell me something Freddie P done. Go ahead, I'm waiting. Anybody? Anyone? Somebody write. I give you 5 minutes to write something in the chat room. Go ahead. Tell me something Freddie P has done. Did he do anything like Queen of the Ring? Did he do anything like Chopper continue doing music? Did he do anything like Ness and be down there in Florida and be a terrorizer with the videos he's still throwing out to this day, freestyling and rapping and shit? Shout out to Ness down there in Philly. He still be in his trenches and everything else. This nigga be doing interview after interview after interview, son. I can't understand. You ain't never got a motherfucking bar to offer the motherfucking nigga that's interviewing you. Nigga, every time I came up on there, you know the promo. You knew Puffton taught you. He taught all of us. You know the promo. You supposed to have music with you. Homeboy, you up there talking this for a check. And nigga giving you a couple of dollars. It's all good. You know what I'm saying? But my nigga, stop with the BS. I ain't here to interrupt your hustle. You know what I'm saying? Get that nigga if you got to. But my nigga, stop telling lies like you was around. You wasn't around. A lot of that shit you saying because you heard or whatever. A lot of shit you making up, talking about, yo, I was gonna beat Puff up. Puff would have broke your little ass in half. Drake bigger than you, and he got fucked up. He smacked the shit out of Drake, and Drake ain't do shit, and you wouldn't have did shit either. Huh? You wouldn't have did shit either. Because you had all the opportunities to do shit, and you didn't do nothing. That's what niggas need to start asking. You had all the opportunity in Puff's face. You knew where Puff lived at. You were in Florida. Huh? He was frequenting that house in the LA house more than anything. So you knew what a nigga was, peep game. You knew what a nigga was. Why'd you go to Star Island and set that nigga straight then? Huh? Why'd you go to Live when you saw that nigga at Live, a Dream, a Fountain Blue? Why'd you go straight that nigga straight then? Huh? Why ain't you and your mans, like you were saying, why don't y'all go, his nigga, that's fake tough talk, nigga. You know what the vibes is. Even Babs and them is looking at you like, yo, nigga, you wildin'. You understand? You wildin' right now. I know they ain't called you and told you that. You understand? And niggas is getting wind of that shit. You know what I mean? Like I said, man, I tapped in with Doe. You know who the fuck I'm talking about, nigga, because you ain't mentioned Doe in one of your little interviews, and I ain't appreciate that shit. It's like, why this nigga mentioning Doe for, man? Like, nigga, keep that shit with you. Keep that shit with you. That's it. And nigga, don't even think twice of coming up here trying to start something. You gonna get washed. You understand? You ain't gonna make it back. So be easy. All right? That much I can guarantee you. So come up here with that shit you trying to present up on camera, you're gonna be real surprised. Babs, none of them can help you. She even know that. They can't help you. You feel me? So like, be easy, my nigga. Like I said though, B, ain't about no beefing or nothing like that. It's just the fact that, like I said, like you telling a lot of porgy pies on your little interviews, my nigga. So like, slow that shit down. You understand what I'm saying? Stop talking about instances and shit where you wasn't around. You understand? And everybody else that was your bandmate, they're gonna say the same shit, nigga. We wasn't even around in 2011. Y'all wasn't even around in 2012. Last time I saw a Chopper, hold on. See, I know what I'm talking about ain't Chuck. The last time I saw a Chopper, that had to be like 2011, maybe 12 or something like that. It might have been a little bit after that. Hold on one second. Let me give you a second. Hold on. I'm gonna find it real quick. Let me go here real quick. Good, I'm still here. Let me see the last time I saw a Chopper. Hold on 1 second. I think the last time I saw a Chopper had to be like maybe 2012 or something like that. Hold on, that's BT Awards. It might be in this one. I think it's in this one. Let me see if it's in this one. Give me 1 second, y'all. I'm looking for a picture. You know what I'm saying? No, it's not in that one. Let me see. When the last time? I think it's in this one. When the last time I seen Chopper? I just need a date because my pictures be having dates, but I gotta have a what's the name to it? Hold on 1 second. It was way before then. Them niggas was going like 2008, 2009, somewhere right there. It had to be right there. Hold on 1 second. Where that picture at with me and Chopper? I think it's in here. It's in here. Yeah, here we go. Now this right here was taken. This was taken in 2012. That's me and Chopper, Young Chopper. That's us down in Miami right there. You understand what I'm saying? That was like 2011. Bad Boy alumni right there. Shout out to Chopper Young City. You know what I'm saying? You heard me? But all that nigga right there, Chopper, all them, at this point right here, what you seeing this picture right here that we took in Miami or whatever, this picture right here, and I think this was in front of Fontainebleau. This picture right here was taken in 2012. They were gone. Y'all were gone as a group, as an entity, as a fucking anything. Y'all was gone. You know what I'm saying? That's 2012. So how the fuck you talking about? And so y'all had to been going like 2-3 years before then. Because Chopper we hadn't seen Chopper in a while when we saw that picture. Because that's the first thing everybody said. My man Chrome, he called him out. He's like, yo, Chopper. It took that nigga a minute to turn around. Then he turned around, he saw Chrome, he came back to all of us. You know what I'm saying? But he was out there dolo by himself. So it was like, well, he had his mans in them with him. But that picture I just showed you with me and Young Chopper, that was 2012, G. You understand what I'm saying? So y'all was going by 2009, 2010, maybe at the latest. So how you talking about instances that happened in 2011, 2012, 13, 14, 15? And you so matter of factly when you sitting down and you talking to old boy from over there, the dialogue shit. I don't get that. And why you still papering this nigga up? This nigga's telling you porgy pies, my nigga. Like that nigga's telling you Chuck. You know what I'm saying? Like you mixing in rumors you done heard, you mixing in shit that you don't know about, and you delivering it to this man like it's a song on truth. And I'm gonna tell all you podcasters, these niggas have gotten privy that they can come on your podcast and tell lies and shit like that because y'all can get some change. It's a hustle. Y'all need to start fact checking these niggas. You understand what I'm saying? Start fact checking these niggas. Have a set of questions you got ready for these niggas. So come up with another version of the interview at the end of it, or add it on to the interview and be like, we were able to clarify this, that, and the other, and the third. Because if y'all don't, y'all niggas as podcasters are now running the risk of getting sued. Y'all allowing individuals to come on your podcast, give matter-of-factlies or whatever, and giving this testament to the public, and you think legally you're protected, you're not. It's called reckless endangerment of the truth, my nigga. And there's legal repercussions for that. You understand what I'm saying? So you might want to get a little bit more intensified in your research and your background instead of letting these niggas just come on your show and just freestyle, say whatever the fuck they want to say on your podcast. You know what I'm saying? And that goes for if it's Freddie P, if it's TT, or any of these other motherfucking celebrity snitches. You understand what I'm saying? That's what I'm gonna start calling them, celebrity snitches. You know what I mean? I got to, man. Niggas went from being real niggas to being celebrity snitches. Like, I don't get that shit. You was never a real nigga. If you sitting on somebody's platform right now, like the first 48, you talking about, yeah, I seen this, I seen that, I seen this, I seen that. You are not a real nigga. Because real niggas don't do shit like that. Any real niggas that's around niggas that's doing shit like this, look at them niggas and be like, oh, nigga, if you do that, you'll tell on the whole team. Let's get the fuck away from this nigga.